let's move to team two. So team two, also well done. I think overall the project proposal was good. Some of the strengths were that it was clear it was cash focused. Both teams had a clear geographic focus, and it's pretty straightforward. There's two activities, two cash activities, and they're in the log frame. A few areas to strengthen, I'd say the completeness. This is one thing I think that sometimes surprises people, that it's hard for us to move forward if categories, if drop downs aren't complete. So it's a matter of completing things like the sector cluster, the different areas, again, making sure the beneficiaries are broken down, and including the activities in the log frame. Another thing is to just be aware of that early start date. CERF, so this is a good lesson. CERF allows an early start date, effectively backdating activities and charging them to CERF before the project proposal is approved and the grants are dispersed. However, that's a 6-week backdating, and this was backdated several months. So just some small thing to be aware of, to learn from, that there is backdating, but just be aware of that 6-week backdating limit. I would also maybe elaborate a little bit on the log frame. So I mentioned a little bit. So one thing I didn't mention, that CERF now has standard indicators, and we're going to share more widely there on the CERF website, but there's some great food and agriculture standard indicators that all agencies can use when using the log frame. So that's a tool that's relatively new, and I'm going to highly recommend it. Next time you work on a CERF proposal, look for our standard indicators on the CERF website. Moving on to team number two's budget. Also very complete. I think both teams did a nice job of providing a description, quantity, unit cost, percent charge to CERF, and I think all the numbers really line up. So that in itself makes it good quality. A few other strengths: the costs are in line with what CERF normally funds, a lot like team one, staff costs, overhead costs. Most of the cash transfer money was in category B, and some of the other charges were in the right categories. And I would just move the animal feed, up to B. It's more of a supply than equipment. One thing that I think this helps us learn is that CERF grants cannot be transferred or sub-granted from one UN agency to another UN agency. So that's something we continue to be asked, but CERF is not designed that way. It's designed to be dispersed to one agency, and then it can be sub-granted to implementing partners. International NGOs, national NGOs, government partners, and there's a whole category, category F, transfers and grants to counterparts. So overall, I'm going to give team number two a B. We would maybe ask to go back a little bit more of the completeness, make sure that grants are not going to be sub-granted to another UN agency, perhaps clear up which partner that could go to. And then we get a revised project and we move it forward for approval. So teams number one, team number two, really, really well done. Thank you for going through this exercise. For those of you who worked on it closely, special thanks. And huge thanks to Lizzie for the opportunity to give you real feedback. And I think simulations are one of the best types of training. And so I hope you have a great rest of your Friday, and looking forward to all the success you're going to have working, for those of you who work on the next CERF project proposal. Thanks.